All right. So today we have a new format. Got a new format, y'all. And I think this is going to be a lot better than the last format that I had, hopefully. But anyway, we are going to react to one of my favorite YouTubers, Nick Jones. He actually reacted to Mike Todd. Something about Mike Todd. Said something like God, Mike Todd can't believe God told staff members to leave Transformation Church, which is very interesting. Very interesting. So anyway, with that being said, let's check it out. Let's go to this new format right quick.
Clip sometimes, and I'll just run with that clip. I tried to watch the full message. I really couldn't get through it. Just to keep it real. But let me play this clip, and I'm gonna play some other clips as well, and then we'll have a conversation. All right.
As an illustration of what God's gonna do in our lives, and I'm gonna get a haircut on stage in front of you, something that is usually done in private.
Well, I mean, that's not. Hold on. This. Did you hear that lady? Hold on.
I'm gonna do it.
She said, "This is so good." Okay. Normally, when you get haircuts, unless you just got a bag, and unless you're rich and you're a celebrity, haircuts are not done in private. Like, you go to the barbershop and it's in public and everyone's getting a haircut. But maybe he's talking about for himself, because he might have like a barber who comes to his house and cuts his hair. But nonetheless, I'm nitpicking on that. I'm nitpicking. All right, but let's continue. I'm tired.
Bro, so funny.
I'm tired. Let me get a sip of water real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's watch this illustration.
Illustration of what God's gonna do in our lives, and I'm gonna get a haircut on stage in front of you, something that is usually done in private. I'm gonna do it openly.
She said, "This is so good." He said he's gonna get a haircut on stage as an illustration to what God's gonna do in your life. And this woman said, "This is so good." Okay.
In front of you, so that you can see the benefit of a fresh cut. Aaron, my barber and friend, is gonna come. Y'all give it up for Aaron real quick as he comes. Now, this is my dog, and I'm gonna let him set up, but he is actually terrified of what we're about to do.
I'm just gonna pause it right there right quick. Man, I like Mike Todd. I do. But I ain't gonna lie, he do be doing a little too much on stage. He really do. Like, I understand that he's trying to make church fun, but bro be doing a little too much. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He really do be doing too much.
Because what I'm about to do is very dangerous. Because the level of passion that I preach with, and the level of wanting you to get it, really affects potentially the way that somebody could actually cut my hair. And this is not rehearsed or planned or practiced. This is about to be very fresh. But I want you to know from the scripture, watch this point, write it down. I'm gonna preach this whole time while he's cutting me. He got the, brother, how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling great? Our friendship is on the line. Write this down. You're getting cut either way. You're getting cut either way. You about to? No, I don't. No, not this black thing. Today is watermelon. I don't want this. Use my cake.
Somebody in the
I
somebody
knew
in
he
the
would have paused
comments.
it.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Somebody said Psalmist Nicole Richmond said, "We're tired, sir." I'm very tired of these conversations, but they keep popping up. So
Oh my gosh.
let's have them, I guess. But it's kind of exhausting because it goes back to literally what we were just talking about in the last story with Jackie Hill Perry. Second Timothy 4. Preach the word. Preach the word. And like I said, I get it. I understand. I didn't watch the whole message.
I'm gonna take out
I'm
a
just
chat
watching one
box right
clip.
quick because I
But I don't need all
really
of this.
don't know if that's. Hold on.
And it kind of makes you think. And it begs the question, how much preparation is going into the illustrations?
I was wondering what that was. It's like a chat box. I don't know if it's saying anything or not, but I'm gonna take that out right quick. Or could I like pop it out? No. Really want to take the chat box out. There we go. I'll pull the chat over here just in case someone says something. Other than that, this video is solely for YouTube. Alright, so play it again.
And how much of that
Alright, there we
time
go.
could be used to just study and then to present what God was speaking to you in your study time to your congregation, as opposed to present a fancy new illustration of you getting a haircut. You know?
There we go. Gotta be on brand. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody say you're getting cut either way. This is God's process. Cutting is God's process of eliminating what isn't producing fruit. And it's also his way of expanding what is producing fruit. So if you don't embrace God cutting you, you are not actually getting the best out of what you have. Yeah. And one cut is going to cause you pain. Remember, the scripture says, anybody who's not producing fruit, he cuts them off and throws them away. But the people who are producing fruit, he cuts them so that they can have more fruit. What I found out is one cut is full of pain and the other cut is full of promise. What I'm trying to get everybody in this room under the sound of my voice to realize is God in 2024, when you yell by faith, more fruit in my marriage, more fruit in my finances, more fruit in my business, more fruit in my family, he says, let me grab my scissors. Are you ready to be cut? The thing that really brought me a lot of peace, because when I was asked that by the Holy Spirit, am I ready to get cut? My answer was no. Because all my life, cut has been associated with something that is either bad, hurtful, painful, or an accident that could end deadly. Don't play with them scissors since you're young.
So that's one clip. I don't even know if I have another clip. I don't even know if I have another clip. Is it this one?
What's up, brother? You good? What's your name, man? Alan. Nice to meet you, bro. What's that baby? That baby like orange juice. That baby got a chain on. That baby need an orange. Look. Baby 2 days old with a chain. Black people. Here we go. You want an orange? Where y'all go to school? Nowhere. You look young. You're blessed. What's up, B? Here you go. What's up, fam? You good? It's good to see you. You want fruit? Your daddy, he want the fruit, Dad. I'll give you another one. What's up, Vic? You be telling me to eat fruit all the time. Come on. It's my trainer right here. Take all this fruit. What's up, Big Daddy? You should be able to see the impact of my life, not by where I tell you I've been. Oh, it's dark on the camera. It doesn't matter where I'm at. You can see my fruit. Oh, you want some? He said, over here, over here. Do you see what happens when you start to produce fruit? You become desirable. I haven't stopped to watch anybody eat the fruit. I just produce it and drop it off. At the gym, at the job, wherever I go, my life should be producing fruit. The saddest part about this moment right now are there are thousands of people around me that desire the fruit, but the bag is empty. So until I flipped it over, nobody even knew that I still didn't have any fruit. And this is the season where God's exposing people. He's turning the bags over. Saying that marriage look good on Instagram, no fruit. That business, they act like they drive a Lamborghini, they in so much debt, no fruit. No fruit. So what happens when the church tells the world, come and see our Jesus? No fruit. Come and meet the God that changed my life. Didn't he change your life 15 years ago? Yes. What has happened since then? Nothing. I just carry around my fruit sack. I judge other people for not bearing fruit. Your fruit should be riper than that, man of God. Where have you dropped off any fruit? I know. From now on, I'm not going to try to prove anybody wrong. I'm going to just say this small phrase in my head. Look at my fruit. People can say anything they want about this church. I'm not perfect. I mess up daily. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a pastor. If anybody wants to take my position, you can have.
I wish I would have ended that clip. That was getting kind of interesting.
I
Still
know.
trying to figure out how to be a pastor. At least he's honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we talk about Mike Todd real quick? Real quick, I get on TikTok this morning and there are 2 videos of Mike Todd going viral. I'm only going to address one of them because the other is just like typical Mike Todd shenanigans and antics. The video that I'm talking about is of Mike Todd seemingly talking to his congregation based on the responses of the peanut gallery in the background. He is seemingly talking to the congregation. He's looking directly at the camera and he is saying another staff member of Transformation Church left the church because God called them to. And I'm not dramatizing the air quotes. He literally says, because God called them to. And after all these years of us knowing each other, they couldn't even, justify it with a real response. Like, give me the real response. The red flags with this man are flying. They are really flying. And you were talking to someone who used to be Transformation Church down, okay? Especially during COVID. Mike Todd was the only person that I was listening to. I was only watching Transformation Church. Like, I was locked in. All I'll say is this. There is no world where a pastor should be getting in front of the congregation and shading another member of the congregation for making a decision to leave a church. There's also no reason a pastor should get in front of the church and publicly mock what someone believes God has told them. Ever. I also don't understand why Mike Todd is acting confused, because as someone who is not a staffer of the church, I believe that Mike Todd has given people a lot of reasons to want to step away from the church. If people want to focus on actually learning the Bible and learning the word and not so much the theatrics of it all, like maybe it was you spitting on your brother's face. That Easter service, I remember a lot of people were upset about it. Their other video that went viral this morning is him pouring syrup and whipped cream all over the Bible. Like, there's reasons. And you can argue how effective his tactics are all day till you're blue in the face. Like, some people love it, some people don't. I honestly think it's a style preference. I will say this. The video that I'm addressing of him calling out that member of the staff is dangerous for two reasons. Number one, to me, it shows that he's leading with a lot of ego. And I don't think that that ever ends well when you are leading a church. Because what happens is that people see that you're leading with ego and you're not leading with God's direction, and then people actually step away from the church. This actually happened to me. I was listening to Transformation Church during COVID religiously, and then I just kind of, a couple of things just kept happening with Mike Todd that I was like, I'm gonna actually just take a step back from this, but I didn't like step into a different church. It took me a couple of months to actually be like, okay, let me try church again, because I had felt like I'd put so much time and energy into Mike Todd for just him to disappoint me. And that's something that I've had to kind of like check myself on, is that like Christianity is about God, not a pastor. But at the same time, that is like what you're at danger for. Secondly, getting in front of a congregation and shaming anyone for leaving the church, it sounds a lot like a different term that I won't even say. And I'm not saying that if you listen to Transformation Church, you should stop, but I am saying just be careful, because the video that I saw of him shading that staff member did not sit well with me at all.
Sounds a little cultish.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find that video.
that's crazy.
Staff.
That is crazy.
Mike saw it. I think it's this one right here.
Another staff member just left, and all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else.
Oh my goodness, she was not lying. The air quotes is a little much.
Whoa.
Another staff member just...
Ooh. Whoa. 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 I never saw that video before. And that right there is... Wow. Yeah, that is a red flag. I mean, but I'm gonna give Mike Todd a little bit of grace. The reason why I say that is because he's human. He's human. He's a pastor, but he's still human. We still deal with fleshly desires. Now, I know as a pastor, you're supposed to lead and set a great example. When he spoke about in his video earlier, he was saying bearing fruit. Well, that right there, what he just did, that's not bearing fruit at all. But yet again, he's human. And we're all sinners. So, yeah, that right there, man. Wow. I'm just kind of shocked. I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. If that makes sense. Let's get back to the video.
just left, and all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else. After after 6 years, you can't even tell me the real reason?
That smile though, like he did that smile at the end after he said it. Yo, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna just keep playing the video. Let me stop.
But you do subliminal Instagram posts?
They should have left a long time ago.
This
It sounds kind of cold.
this. Let's just think about like. I think what really makes it even more interesting is the fact that it is a mega church. It's a big church. So it's going to gain, it is going to gain a lot of attention. When we look back at things like a traditional church at home and stuff, stuff like that happen at regular traditional church. You know, the pastor that sit there and I mean, I'm just being honest. The pastor that sit there and he's he like to call out people. He be like, I ain't gonna say no name, but the pastor that preaching, it happens all the time. So it's just a simple fact that Mike Todd have a huge, like a greater audience. So it's not gonna, people not gonna receive it as well. I think that's what's the issue is, honestly, is he have such a huge audience all over the world that's watching him, and it don't look good. That's the only difference between him and pastors of these small traditional churches. So we gotta look at that. Like I'm saying, I'm not siding with him. I'm just trying to look at it as a whole, not just Mike Todd wrong, because it happens a lot. It happens a lot. But this is just an example to show us that, like, look, our pastors, look, y'all need to really, like, if you're going to be a leader and a pastor, you got to think before you speak. You got to think about, you really just got to think before you speak out in public, because you will be held accountable. And you got to think about the people you're leading, you know? So that's just my thoughts on that.
And that's kind of what happens sometimes when you have somebody who's so charismatic and you have somebody who's so likable and who is naturally funny and good with words and just naturally just can connect and can relate with people. You start to let certain things slide. And I think that's what a lot of people are allowing to happen in Transformation Church. A lot of this stuff, and I could sit here until, like, some of y'all be telling me, and y'all be sitting here until y'all like blue in the face, just telling me, like, watch the full sermon, get the full context, do that, like. But some things I don't necessarily need to see the full background as to why you poured syrup on the Bible. It's just you know what I'm saying? It's like some things it's just like you just find a different way to get your point across. It's so much theatrics, it's so much entertainment, it's so much, it just doesn't make sense. Is there a full video to this? Let me see.
Another staff member just left, and
No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me try to find one more video. Hold on. Oh, wait. What's her name? What's her name? Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Hold on. I'm trying to find a video real fast. Is it this one? It might be this one. Let me see.
all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else.
Okay, so this is my very first time ever speaking on Mike Todd, and I've never wanted to give him any attention, I'm gonna be real, because I feel like everybody else has already, all the time, given him enough attention. But concerning this matter, maybe I guess this is the first time I felt led to speak. Number one, he is dead wrong to even sit here and, try to put in some air quotes about what someone told him that God told them. And then the guy that I got this snippet from was even saying that it was wrong for the person to say what they said, basically, and that they should have given him an explanation, when really it was nothing wrong with what the person said to Mike, saying, yes, I'm leaving the church because God called me somewhere else. God is not man, and man is not God. We owe no man an explanation but God. It was nothing wrong with what that person had told him. Nothing wrong with saying what they said at all. So to even sit here and act like it was wrong and that God can't tell people, hey, move on. God can't tell people, hey, don't give an explanation. God can't tell them, hey, this is all you need to say. Or God can't tell them, hey, this is what I'm just telling you and I'm not even explaining to you. And this is all you'll need to know for right now, but this is where I'm moving you. Really saying God can't say that? That's wrong. I'm sorry, and I don't agree with that. Now, speaking on Mike's preaching in general, he was never for me. I remember when someone first showed me him like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, because I've never liked kiddie teaching. Like, I felt like his teaching were for teenagers. Like, no kidding. Like, it wasn't even about his popularity or not. I don't even know if he was that popular at the time. I really don't even believe he was like as big as he is now as a name, but he was getting there and he was getting known or something. And then this person that was showing me was like, I always listen to him, but I looked at how they walk and I'm like, if you always listen to him and I really don't feel moved by him, I really feel like I shouldn't be listening to him because your walk hasn't changed. I'm not even trying to be rude about this person, but I'm like, the way I see you living, you don't seem convicted at all about anything that you do, and if he makes you feel comfortable, however you do it. I'm not trying to base their actions on the preachers because that can be anybody. A preacher can be a preacher, but I just wasn't feeling led by him. I was just kind of like, I feel like worldly people being comfortable with certain preachers tells me everything that I need to know. There's no conviction there and there's something not really being said, or, it's too playful. And I don't like that cookie cutter stuff. I like very nitty gritty, very mature, very deep, and filled with wisdom teachings. Like, you use the most articulate, advanced wording, and that's just me. But other than that, when you go toddler or like specifically are speaking to like young people or teenagers, sometimes even young adults, I feel like I'm a little bit more, although I'm a young adult, I feel like I need to hear more than that. I need to hear it like I'm 50 years old, but whatever. Even as a teenager, when my mom would try to drop me and my siblings off at youth church, I used to be like, I want to go to the big building. I don't want to go to the youth service. She was like, no, you guys need to hear this. And I'm like 14. I'm like, no, it's just too kiddie. Like, I need to hear more. So partially just me. I'm not saying something is wrong exactly. I haven't followed his teachings at all. Like, I haven't even really, I've just seen little things that he's said that I haven't fully agreed with or haven't really felt, really connected with. So that's my whole thing. But overall, I do think that what he was doing was wrong, trying to quote someone and low-key comfort them, because he was hurt by them leaving. I understand being hurt, but I just feel like for you to act like that was a wrong thing for them to say, I think that was childish and not really of God. Sorry. I'm gonna have to move on from that one, Mike. But God bless you, and may you grow from these experiences.
I think, I always say that I don't want to talk about the Mike Todd stuff and like I'm done with it and stuff like that. But I think subconsciously I'm very much interested in what is gonna pan out, because I used to watch Transformation Church. And I used to feel as if the teaching was profitable. And this was a time where I was very early on in my faith walk, and I didn't really know anything. I didn't know anything. I was just going on YouTube, literally typing in sermon, and then Transformation Church would pop up, or Elevation, Tony Evans, Joyce Meyer. Those are like the most popular people. Joel Osteen. All of those people would pop up, right? And this is like very early on in my faith walk. And just naturally, out of those options that I saw, I was just gravitated towards Mike Todd, because like he's a cool looking dude, black guy, like, you know, something I could relate to. And I was watching it very early on, and I felt like, wow, this is helping me. This is, you know, teaching me new things. It's challenging me. But then over time, the shift started to happen, and I started to seek more. I started to seek more meat. I feel like his teaching is more on the side of like milk. You know what I'm saying? I started to
True.
seek more like solid food. Things that really challenged me, things that really gave me deeper context into the scriptures, things that really taught me the deeper historical, you know, meaning and the deeper historical facts related to the Bible, and just the theology and the different, just all that different stuff. I got way more interested in that, and way less interested in just like the illustrations and the entertainment. So I think subconsciously I'm still kind of invested, even though I say I'm not, because at one point in time, I used to watch Transformation Church pretty often. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. Like, I want nothing but the best for them, because there's so many people that still go to that church. There's so many people that watch every single Sunday. Just look at their numbers on YouTube. And I want those people to be saved, and I want those people to walk righteously, and I want those people to truly know Jesus Christ, you know. But it just looks off. There's
Yeah.
just so much about it that just looks off, you know.
Yeah.
Candace Owens, you know.
That. Let me go back to my camera. Yeah. With everything he said, yeah. That's how I feel. I mean, I used to watch Transformation Church, and don't get me wrong, like there's some good stuff like you can get out of it, but for me, like it really, if I remember when I would see like people like, you know, giving their thoughts about Mike Todd, and it'd be like, you know, negative reaction and stuff. I used to get so offended, because like I used to watch it like a lot, and I'm like, how dare they think that, like this guy, like he, you know, he's funny and stuff, all of that. Like that's how I felt. And you know, over time, like as I read more, as I learn more from other I guess you could say like pastors and people who teach stuff online, as I get in a deeper relationship with the Lord, I started to realize that, like, you know, the Mike Todd, you know, Transformation Church, it started looking really, I started getting some discernment. Like I started to feel like I couldn't, not that I can't get anything out of it, but it just looked silly. You know, it just, something was off. I'm not saying it's a bad church, but for me, it felt very ABC ish. um, it just, it really just did not sit well with me. I really feel like, to be honest, it's like I feel like, for people like the first beginner guide, um, when it come down to Transformation Church, um, and I get that he's trying to relate with a lot of people, but he's relating with a lot of like worldly people. It's one of those things that you go into and yeah, you learn some stuff. Yeah, you can most definitely have your life turn around and follow the Lord, but then it's there's some other stuff like once you become a Christian and once you really really try to build your relationship with the Lord, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to realize that need to be changed. A lot of things. Even for me, like there's time when I'm thinking, man, I am putting too much time into video gaming, or I'm putting too much time into uh content creation. Um, you know, because when you have a relationship with the Lord, you gotta spend your time with Him. You really gotta spend your time with Him. Um, and there's just like being at home and playing praise and worshiping, praying, reading the Bible, spending your time in the Word, because the Word is gonna give you wisdom and knowledge and stuff. And I know, like for me, I've been in the Word, but I haven't as much. Like lately, I have been like spiritually like lazy. Um, and I feel like that's where, like, for people who do become spiritually lazy, like the Mike Todd like church, I feel like sometimes that right there, like that's why people like go to it, because it's funny, it's entertaining, and you don't feel like you're spiritually lazy in a sense. It's just like one of those things you just watch for entertainment. But like, are you really like gaining a lot out of it? That's the question. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna spend time in this because it's more entertaining. Um, and this sometimes I think as humans, we look for entertainment. Like I get it, we do. But your relationship with the Lord, it's it's one of those things like when you have a relationship with the Lord, it ain't supposed to be focused on being entertained and stuff. It's about having a relationship with Him, like, building that love for the Lord, you know, um, like genuinely love the Lord. It's not supposed to be about you and stuff. I know flesh desire a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's about like actually having a genuine relationship with Him. It's not about just entertaining self. And that what we tend to, want to lean on. We want to go towards the entertainment. Joel Austin. That's that prosperity church to make you feel good. Man, being a Christian, it's not all about just feeling good all the time. You're gonna go through some things in life, but the Lord allowed that so you could see Him work in your life. He allowed things to happen so you can see things work in your life, so you can lean on Him and depend on Him, and not on entertainment, but depend on Him so He can pull you through it. You know. So yeah, it's just very interesting. Like Nick Jones said, I'm interested in seeing what's gonna happen. I hope the best. I hope that Mike Todd, I hope some things will be revealed to him. You know, if he really have a relationship with the Lord, it will be. And I think that I honestly think things will be revealed to him, and I think that he will make some change. You know, hopefully, I don't know. We don't know. Maybe do it. The Lord can use a rock to preach the gospel to people. You know, so who knows? I don't know. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And with that being said, I will catch y'all later on another video.